It all started with a basketball. Every afternoon, the familiar echo of bouncing balls filled the college gym, a symphony of sweat, sneakers, and the sharp squeak of determination. Among all the players, two stood out: Ava, the quiet, focused team captain, and Lena, the fiery new transfer student with something to prove. From the moment they first met on the court, there was a spark. It wasn't just competition, not entirely. It was something softer, something hidden in the split seconds their eyes would meet across the polished wood. "Nice shot," Ava said, her voice even, after Lena sank a perfect three-pointer. Lena just smirked, a flash of confidence in her eyes. "I know." Ava rolled her eyes but couldn't help smiling. She liked that fire. At first, it was pure rivalry. They were the first to arrive and the last to leave, staying late for extra practice, constantly pushing each other to be better, faster, stronger. But soon, those extra hours started to feel different. The competitive silence was replaced by laughter. The one-on-one drills turned into shared conversations. They started sharing snacks after training, their rivalry slowly, almost imperceptibly, melting into a genuine friendship. Their new routine was simple: practice, laughter, and long walks home together under the warm glow of the streetlights. One evening, right after practice, the sky opened up. A sudden downpour sent everyone else running for shelter, but not Ava and Lena. They stayed, laughing like kids, dribbling the soaked ball on the wet pavement. "You're insane," Ava laughed, wiping raindrops from her face. Lena, still aiming for the hoop, shot back, "Maybe. But you like it." Ava froze. The rain, the laughter, the world, it all seemed to fade away. She didn't know how to reply. The air between them grew heavy, charged with unspoken words, like the silence right before a storm. From that night on, everything changed. The dynamic shifted. Their late-night texts went from game strategies to something much deeper. They talked about everything: their dreams, their fears, the immense pressure of the upcoming tournament. Then, one night, a single text from Lena lit up Ava's screen and changed everything. "Do you ever feel like you're falling for someone you shouldn't?" Ava stared at her phone, her heart pounding in her chest. She typed and deleted her reply a dozen times before finally sending back a single honest word: "Yes." The next morning at practice was awkward. They barely spoke. The air around them was electric. Every accidental touch during a drill felt like a jolt. Every stolen glance burned with an intensity that was impossible to ignore. To everyone else on the team, it was just another day of practice. It was just basketball, right? But for Ava and Lena, it was a silent, thrilling, terrifying dance. The tension built, day by day, game by game, leading up to the final, decisive match of the season, the championship game. The gym was packed, the air thick with anticipation, the crowd roaring with every play. The score was tied, and the clock was ticking down its final, heart-stopping seconds. Ava had the ball. Her eyes scanned the court, and then she saw her. Lena, wide open. For just a fraction of a second, their eyes met. It was a silent agreement, a moment of perfect understanding that transcended the chaos around them. Without a second thought, Ava passed. Lena caught it, jumped, and released the ball in one fluid motion. It sailed through the air, a perfect arc, and sank through the net just as the final buzzer rang. They'd won. The gym erupted. Cheers, screams, a tidal wave of pure joy. But Ava only had eyes for one person. Without thinking, she ran straight to Lena. Lena caught her, lifting her off the ground and spinning her around in a dizzying, triumphant hug. They were laughing, crying, shaking a whirlwind of adrenaline, victory, and something much, much bigger. And then, in that perfect, messy, beautiful moment, they kissed. Right there, in the middle of the court, in front of everyone. It wasn't planned. It wasn't even a conscious decision. It was just inevitable. A rush of relief, of victory, of love, all culminating in a single, honest act. For a second, time stopped. The noise of the crowd faded into a dull hum. It was just them. When they finally pulled apart, the world rushed back in. The crowd was a mix of stunned silence and roaring cheers. Their coach, standing on the sideline, just smiled, a knowing look in his eyes. Later that night, long after the crowds had gone home, they sat together on the empty bleachers. The gym was quiet, peaceful. Ava leaned her head against Lena's shoulder. "That was crazy," she whispered. Lena chuckled softly. "Yeah, guess we just made history." Ava looked up at her, the faint glow of the scoreboard illuminating her face. "Do you regret it?" Lena didn't hesitate. She shook her head. "Not even for a second." Ava smiled, her heart feeling fuller than it ever had before. "Me neither." In the weeks that followed, photos of the kiss spread online. Some people called it bold, others called it beautiful, some had less kind things to say. But for Ava and Lena, it was simple, it was real. They kept playing, side by side, their bond stronger than ever. They faced the wins and the losses, the whispers and the applause together. Their connection deepened beyond the court, into a life filled with quiet dinners, movie nights, and soft laughter on park benches. It wasn't always easy navigating their new public reality, but they had each other. And every time they stepped onto the court, every time they held hands for a brief moment before a game, they remembered that first kiss. They remembered the moment when the world blurred, and the only thing that mattered was the person in front of them, and everything felt possible. Because for them, basketball was never just a game. It was the place where they found the courage to love, to be seen, and to play the game their way. It was the place where they found each other. It was, and always would be, more than a game. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more stories that matter. We'll see you in the next one.